Hello, my name is Ryan Asani, and this is an interview with Nick Cardi, one of the owners of Cardi's Furniture. We decided to do this interview in his garage because this is where he spends most of his time now. And due to the fact that he has brain cancer, he is very limited. And I hope that you get as much out of this interview as I did, because it's always wonderful to talk to somebody with as much knowledge and experience as he has. So, enjoy.
Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, Nick.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Alright, so I only have...
Good morning, class. Professor. What school is this?
CCRI.
CCRI. I graduated from CCRI, just so you know, back in, let's see, 60, I went there in 66, 67, so around 68, 69. I graduated from CCRI. I went to the University of Tennessee, and then now I'm at Cardis Furniture U. Cardis U. Graduate, got my master's, my doctorate. Now I'm for lifer. I'll be there for life.
That's right. Alright, so...
Remember, folks, do what you love and love what you do.
Alright, so if you could give me a quick 5-minute summary of your life from beginning to end. From...
My life hasn't ended yet.
No, from beginning till now.
Till now. Well, I was born and brought up in Rhode Island. My family had the family business like a lot of families do. Our grandparents on both sides were immigrants. They all came from Italy, so I guess I'm 100% Italian. When I was a child, we didn't have a lot of money. Parents told us that. We don't have a lot of money. My father used to always say, but you'll remember these times, this is where we had the most fun. And I used to look at him saying, remember what? I'm, 10 years old, 12 years old. Well, I'm going to go back to that now. Those are the best days of our lives, as that program, I think it's...
The Days of Our Lives?
Yeah, it's, what is it?
Soap operas. Yeah.
I'm going to forgive my short-term memory every now and then, but I'll explain that after. The growing up, we worked. It's family business, and we worked in it. I had 2 brothers and a sister, and we all used to pitch in and do what we could do. And our dad and our uncle, they were partners, and they would teach us and train us what to do. And the best way to learn and train is to do it. And you get out there and you do it, and you make some mistakes. If you can learn from your mistakes, you're fabulous. If you don't learn from your mistakes, what are you doing? But PDR, that's practice, drill, and rehearse. Remember those PDR. And do that in life. We all, in a sense, do it. If you ski, if you snowboard, if you swim, I don't care what you do as a sport, you're going to practice, drill, and rehearse. Well, the same thing in life, in business, whether you're in business, whether you're a school teacher, college professor, whatever it is that you do, you PDR. We do the same thing in our company. Sometimes we practice too much, but we practice over and over again, get it right. And we have people critique us so that they can say, you should do this, you should say that. This might be better for you. But PDR, practice, drill, rehearse.
All right.
Yes, Mr. Ryan.
All right, so...
I'm at Ryan's beck and call today.
Every time you're with me. All right, so tell me a little bit about your mother.
Mom is a great lady. Right now she's 96, going to be 96 and 97, excuse me, in May. She's very, very strong and very bright. Mom has always been a stable force in our life. When we were kids, she'd say, go outside and pick up a belt or pick up a stick, because when your father gets home, I'm going to have him hit you. She also used to tell us she was going to send us back to the Indians, and those slurs. I'm going to tell you something. In our family, never heard anything derogatory against color, race, religion, any of that. Never heard it. And I won't allow it in our house. If someone did it in our house, give them a slap.
That's good.
Plus, we have a lot of friends who are all different races, colors, religions, and ethnic nationalities. Gay or straight doesn't make a difference. They've all been here, and they're always welcome in our home.
What did she do, like for work or just for the most of her
Mom
life?
was a stenographer in the sense she was secretary stenographer. She was really good at shorthand and typing.
Where does she work?
She worked at the store, and years ago she worked at Shepherd's. For you young people, you won't even know what it is. For you older people, Shepherd's was a department store. They had stores in Providence and in the malls, just like a Macy's, that idea. And she worked for them in the office.
How about your father?
Dad was in the furniture business. He
Mhm.
grew up, family of 11. The family lived upstairs, the store was downstairs. And there's just so many parts of the world where the living quarters are upstairs and the facility, retail, I'm going to call it a retail facility, maybe an office, is downstairs. Why? Because you can afford to maintain it a lot better than if we're in two separate locations. My father had to leave school at age 16, help support the family. His father passed away. It was a big family, so he did his part. Our grandmother had started a dry goods store in 1928, and that evolved into hardware, furniture, carpeting, appliances. And our dad went into the business with our grandmother, and then our uncle joined our dad, and then before they passed away, the three brothers, Nick, Ron, and Pete, started taking over the business very slowly. And then when our uncle and our dad passed away, it was very quickly that we took over the business. But our dad had done a great job. A gentleman with no education in a sense, he went to high school, but didn't go to college or anywhere after that, but learned. He learned from his mistakes. He used to tell us that all the time. That's a learning experience. It's a learning experience. Learn from him. What did you learn? He used to always ask questions. What are you doing with that customer? Do you have a pad with you? Always carry a pad if you're in business, and a pen. I am so embarrassed when I go somewhere and someone says, do you have a pen? And I, no. Or I didn't have my business cards with me. That's embarrassing. Be proud of what you do. Carry your business cards, carry a pen, and tuck away in a pocket a piece of paper or a little pad that you can write on and take notes. Because everywhere you go, you should be able to learn something. And our dad used to teach us that all the time. But he taught us different parts of the business from when we were young until we got older. And then he looked at each one of us and he decided what part of the business each one of us he thought was better to do. So I was given the pleasure of buying, selling product. So anything that had to do with buying or selling, I handled it. At one point, I did advertising. My brother Peter does the advertising and the distribution. We've all done everything, by the way. Peter does the advertising and public relations and the distribution center. And our brother Ron, he runs all the offices and any construction that we do. So to cut it real short, I sell it, Peter gets it delivered, Ron gets paid for it. Although there are other things that go on. And every few years, we reevaluate what we're doing. Because you must, in life, readjust with the times. And we reevaluate as to what our jobs are in the company and how we can be more efficient and what we'd rather do. For example, I was diagnosed with brain cancer 5 years ago. And I used to travel all over the world. I would be in Southeast Asia, I'd be in China, Vietnam, India, Thailand, Malaysia, I'd be in Las Vegas, North Carolina, Mexico. Well, my doctors didn't want me to travel as much, so my life had to change a little bit. Brother Ron took over that end of it, although he's not doing the traveling part yet. He probably will. but his group, we all had teams, and I had a very good buying team. And that's all they need is direction. Tell them where to go, and they go. They figure out how to get there. So that's been, in a sense, my life. And since I've had cancer, I've had to slow down a little bit. And here I am smoking a cigar. I have brain cancer, not lung cancer. Don't smoke.
All right, you ready? I'm still on the topic with your parents, so were you closer with one parent than the other? With your father or your mother? Or did you kind of have like an equal relationship?
Our parents liked equality, and they would try to do that. Because we had a sister who passed away when she was 49, and I had two brothers. And they made sure that everybody got the same amount of attention, just that they spent the same amount on each of us for gifts, and I think they divided their attention to us equally.
That's good.
I was closer with Dad because I worked with Dad. Mom I obviously see every day. She'd cook and we'd eat.
Yeah.
She'd throw us off to school. And then we come back and then I go to work.
Your brothers both had a good relationship with both of your parents as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Compared to what I see today, ours was sort of, I'm not going to say magical, but it was a little different than today's relationships with kids and their parents.
Yeah. You guys were a very tight-knit family.
We were pretty close. Why?
Yeah.
We worked together.
Right. You have to be
And
close.
we lived together. We were all there for the same reason. You had to make the business grow.
Yeah. Your childhood home and your neighborhood. So if you could tell me what your childhood house was like, where you grew up living.
When I grew up. We grew up in a section of Cranston, and I lived there when I was about 1 until I was about 10. Then actually moved back there when I got married. Lived
Really?
there for 7 years more.
In your childhood home?
My childhood was mine, our childhood home.
That's cool.
Our childhood home right after that, our mom still lives there. And we all grew up in that house in a sense. I'm the oldest. Then came Ron, who was 10 years younger than me, and I'm about, don't quote me, I'm exactly 10. Peter's 5 years younger, Ron's 5 years younger than me. Pete's 10 years younger than me. So we were split by about 10 years. But we all grew up, and our sister also grew up in the house that our mom lives in now. 3-bedroom ranch, nothing special. We were not rich. Just made ends meet. We thought we were rich. But, you know, what do you know? What's in, you know.
What was your house decorated with?
No special decoration. Whatever Mom wanted, I guess. Whatever style she wanted for a particular room, that's what she did. Nick, Ron, and Pete all slept in the same bedroom. We had maple furniture. Solid rock maple way back then. Our parents' mahogany in the bedroom. Mom still has the same bedroom set when she got married.
Wow, really?
Solid mahogany. She won't change it. Our father one time thought maybe he'd change it and then decided not to because it was made too well. He liked it. It's heirloom quality. It's a beautiful set. The living rooms obviously were out first because that's where we live, sort of, in the living room, the den. And that was changed a few times, obviously, over the years. But nothing special. We did not live a fancy lifestyle.
Can you tell me a little bit about the neighborhood that you lived in?
Very nice neighborhood, and they were all, in a sense, blue, white collar families. They were in business for themselves or their family business. A lot of the people in our neighborhood, was, if you go through it, you talk about a mixture. One house was Jewish, the next house was Armenian, the next house was Italian, the next house was something else. And it just went like that through the whole neighborhood. And everybody in those days, the 50s and 60s, were all coming out of the war and were all trying to establish themselves. And a very good mix of people came out of that neighborhood. They were all like benchmarking themselves against other people, not because they were jealous, but because they were watching each other do things right, and you copy people who do things right. Don't copy people who do things bad, because people who do things poorly, you don't want to be like that. I learned how to ski, and I thought when I quit I was a pretty good skier. And I only took one lesson in my life. The rest of it I learned by watching other instructors and listening. And that's what you need to do, is watch and listen. And you can learn and see. You watch and you learn, and if they do it right, that's what you want to do. If they don't do it right, it's not what you want to do. You can learn a lot, and if you're an attorney or aspiring to be an attorney, attorneys will spend a lot of time in court watching. They're watching other attorneys do it right and do it wrong. If you're a doctor, they have stands where the doctors can go watch new procedures and watch videos, films on new procedures, so they can watch and they can see it done. Same thing, I don't care what kind of business you want to go into or what you want to do for a living. Watch and listen.
Was your family any different from any of the other families in your neighborhood?
No, we were all basically the same. We were all struggling families.
Did you guys all kind of get along together as a neighborhood?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
The neighborhood was great. There were no neighborhood organizations back then, but the kids all played together.
Mm-hmm.
Even the older kids would take the younger kids, and I was one of the younger ones, into the quote gang or neighborhood group to hang around with. But we were basically good kids in the neighborhood. There weren't any troublemakers. There weren't any police dramas. There was none of that. I mean, we were kids.
All right, now I want to talk to you kind of about school and stuff like that. So, I know you went to CCRI in college, but can you tell me about like the middle school and high school that you went to?
I went to, first of all, I went to a preschool. It was Miss Pike's nursery school. And some of the people there that I met, we're still very close.
Really?
I have a tight group of friends, and I call them my nursery school group. Then I went to a grade school in Cranston. Started in kindergarten, we went all the way through 6th grade. And then I went to Cranston West, 7, 8, and 9, and then I went to Bishop Hendricken, 9 through 12, excuse me, 10 through 12. Then I went to CCRI, and then I went to the University of Tennessee. And as Dad said, and then you went to the University of Hard Knocks.
Were any of your classmates from the same background as you, family-wise, and or were your group of friends different from you in a significant way?
We were brought up in a neighborhood where, again, basically everyone was the same. Yeah, there were 1 or 2 people there that had more money than the rest of us, bigger homes, more toys, like they had a big boat.
Mm-hmm.
Any boat, we had a small rowboat. But it's amazing that some of the people who were on top are now gone or out of business,
Mm-hmm.
and some of the people at the bottom rose to the top. Things do change.
Mm-hmm.
And it depends what you want out of life, and you have to decide how you're going to get it. So if you want to be here in 20, 30 years, okay, and where do I want to be in 20? And where am I going to be in 15? And where am I going to be in 10? And you need to break it down so you have short-term goals. Because if you have a long-term goal, we tend to procrastinate and wait. You don't want that to happen.
True that. Back then, what was the division of boys and girls like in school, and in general?
Boys and girls. We were split.
Yeah.
It was split. The girls would be over there in a different playground, the boys would be over here in a different playground.
Mm.
The girls had their own sports, the boys had their own sports.
Never really interacted.
No, there was never any Never.
Can you think of a point in your life where that shifted?
Shifted in junior high school, it started to shift, where there were more girls and more boys, but life just started to change.
Yeah.
When I got into high school, it was all boys, so it didn't make a difference.
You went to Hendricken, right?
With Bishop Hendricken, it was an all boys school. It was a good school. I had a good time. Not meaning having a good time. You know, I learned a lot. I enjoyed it. And I'm still involved with Bishop Hendricken. I went to CCRI, and there we had the Shielders. I don't know if they're still around, but it was like a fraternity sorority organization, all in one. And that's really where we commingled. And that's really the first time in my life we were commingled with a group like that. Where they had sororities and they had fraternities in most schools, but this was combined into one. And again, I'm not sure if it's still available at CCRA now. Ryan's telling me no. But it was a good group of people, still friends with some of them. And you still run into these people. And I tell my son, never burn a bridge, because you never know when you need to cross over that bridge. I like the bridge over River Kwai where you can build it again.
True that. What were some of the subjects that you studied while you were in school, and what were some of your favorites?
What did I study? I was a bad student.
You were a bad student?
Bad student.
Oh man, really?
Yeah. Until I got into the last 2 years of college, and I was married then, and my wife was very smart, and I became smart all of a sudden. Why? Because I was watching her do it. I wasn't watching the other people who weren't doing it, the people that weren't going to class. I was watching my wife do it. And like I said, she was very smart. So that's what I did. What subjects did I take? All the normals. Math, English, reading. I wish I could read faster. Math, I was okay. My son's a math major in college. He graduated from college in math, so I guess that part of my brain went to him. Speaking of brains, I do have brain cancer. I have malignant, aggressive brain cancer, and it's the cancer that got John McCain, Ted Kennedy, and Beau Biden. It's not pretty. However, the doctors in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Duke University, and Mayo Clinic are all working on me. And it's not about how much money you have, because it doesn't cost any money to get involved with these people. It's a matter of whether you're going to do it or not. Smoke these cigars.
Alrighty, so I'm going to talk about some romance. When you were younger, did you date often?
Did I date? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first date?
I remember my first kiss. I don't know if I remember my first date.
Tell me about it.
I think we were at a party. And downstairs and listening to music. I remember giving her a kiss.
Do you remember who she was?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Can't give you the name.
Okay.
Haven't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
I see her brother every now and then.
Alright, I won't ask the next question then, but I'll skip that one. How did you first meet your ex-wife? Because I know you were married before.
My wife now, I've been married to Judy. Judy's my wife. We got married in 1972. We met in college. It was a blind date. And you know, we got married and we fell in love and we just moved on. We did get divorced. Actually, we got divorced twice, so I've been married to Judy 3 times.
Wow.
I was married to another lady that I met. We'll call her a lady. I was married to someone that I met before. She was a nice person. She passed away. And after I was operated on, Judy was kind enough to let me come to her house, which was our house originally, but her house, to recuperate. And then one thing led to another, and we married, and I'm very happy that we did.
That's good. Glad. So how many kids do you have?
I have one child.
And what are they like?
What is he like? He, very smart. Got it from his mother, not from me. Played baseball all his juvenile years and into college. When he got hurt, he hurt his arms, and therefore there was no more baseball. And that's when he found fraternity life after baseball. So there is life after sports. He's a good kid. He's a really good kid. He was off on his own and owned nightclubs, owned a couple in Providence, and now he runs a non-profit organization for people with brain cancer and multiple sclerosis, MS.
What are your aspirations for them?
My son, as people with most people with their children, we want them to be happy. We want them to be successful in their own right, whatever they want to do. And that's what I want my son to do, whatever he wants to do. He did come to work for the company for a while and then left because he wanted to do what he wanted to do. I made the mistake of assuming he wanted to come into the company. Don't ever make the assumption of what your child wants to do, because it's wrong. The children have to decide what they want to do. You have to decide what you want to do. And then let them grow into that person. Yearly, bi-yearly, so again, you set those short-term goals, long-term, you have one long-term goal. This is where I want to be. I want to be retired, and I want this much money in my pocket. How am I going to get there? No one's going to give it to me. You know, we bought some lottery tickets today. And if we win, trust me, Ryan won't be writing this report.
I appreciate that. Now, I know you don't have any grandkids, but I have to ask you. You don't have any grandkids, right?
No, I do not. No grandchildren yet.
Yet, do you,
Although Mom and I are waiting.
I was gonna say, do you hope to have some grandkids?
Yeah, we're waiting.
Yeah.
We have the bedroom ready.
That's good.
Call it the baby's room.
So now that...
And they're bunk beds, by the way, so
Oh,
we
there you
expect
go.
more than one.
So now that your son is older, how do you continue to support them even in their adulthood?
Whatever they need. We brought them into this world, and I feel as though it's my obligation to help him. He's not a gimme, he's not a grabber, so he doesn't he's not a money grabber. Matter of fact, I generally have to push money on him to take it. It sounds crazy, but I generally do. When he goes out, I won't let him go out unless he's got, a few bucks in his pocket. Excuse me.
Alright. Gonna kind of reverse the time a little bit.
Let me open the door up for you a little bit. It's early.
Oh, sorry. No worries. I'm just gonna wait until that's done. Alright. What kind of chores did you have as a child?
Well, we all had chores. That's a good question. And I don't think today's society gives enough chores. Nick, Ron, and Pete, and my sister, we all had different chores. Who cleaned the table, who washed the dishes, who sets the table, who sweeps the floor after every meal, who washes down the table, bring your clothes to the laundry room, which was downstairs in the basement. Make your bed every day. And pick up after yourself. Cut the grass, and I went to work, as my brothers did. We all basically did the same. No one was a star above the other.
What did you daydream about when you were younger?
Daydream. Well, when I was in business, daydreamed about being bigger. But that's okay. You're not going to get bigger unless you get out there and work. So Father always taught us to keep a pad beside your bed. What's that mean? So you can write notes. If you think about it, a lot of times you get awake because you've got something on your mind, and you can't go back to sleep because you keep thinking about it. But if you wrote it down on your pad, trust me, you will go back to sleep. And so I do that. I have a pad in the car. I have a pad everywhere.
It's true.
So I can write notes. I have a piece of paper in my pocket so that I can write things down. When Ryan's been with me in the stores, sometimes I need a piece of paper because I go in, I get ideas.
Yeah. When you were growing up, thinking about like your future, and knowing now where you are in life, are you where you wanted to be when you were younger?
In a sense, yes. In a sense, no. Could we have done more? Knowing what we know today, hindsight's 20/20. Of course, but I think we all could have. We all could if we could do it over again and know what we know now, heading in the same direction or doing something else. You would do it better, especially if you're headed in the same direction.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
Getting divorced too many times was a big regret. I think it was, I just hate to tell people what to do. Try to make it work. Or make it work.
Yeah.
It's like when you get a job. Love what you do what you love.
How about
before you get married, make sure it's the one you want.
how about like career-wise or anything like that? Do you have any regrets with in that sense?
No, I like what I do.
Yeah.
I love what I do what I love. I would like to write a book, and I'm going to do that one day, hopefully.
You should. Is there something that you wish that you did more of in your life?
I wish I read more, but to be honest with you, I'm such a slow reader that it's a chore for me to read.
Mm-hmm.
I read a lot what has to do with furniture, but anything else is a chore. I just finished a book, and I'll tell you something. I'm 72 years old. I am very proud of myself. It's probably the first book I ever read from cover to cover. That's embarrassing.
The Vampire, right?
The Vampire.
Yeah.
But I did. I read it all, and Ryan even, because I have the book in the car. Ryan said, "Are you still reading the book?" I said, "No, I finished it." What I do every morning while I wait for a driver, because I can't drive right now, I have drivers, is I would read, and I tried to read a chapter a day. Happened to be friends with the author of the book, and I would text the author and tell them what I thought of that particular chapter. And it's different when you're that close to a story or a book.
Absolutely.
And I'm fortunate in that sense of the way.
Are you happy with your life?
I'm totally happy with my life.
Good. That's awesome. All right. So, what is the saddest time that you can remember in your life? And you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but
What do you mean by saddest time?
the saddest.
Saddest?
Yeah, the saddest time.
Yeah, the sad part, when our dad died, that was tough. He was a big figure in our lives. And, yeah, I guess when our dad passed away, it was the saddest part in our life. I hate to say this, but when our mom passes away, and she's going to be 97 this year, not that well, but she's well. And that's another big boulder that's going to have to get over. She's a great lady, keeps us all together, which is wonderful. Someone needs to be the glue that holds the family or the business together.
Absolutely.
And she is one.
All right, I just got 2 more questions.
Okay.
The next one
Two
is,
more questions, we'll see.
what is the happiest time of your life?
Happiest time of my life.
Yeah.
I think when I got out of surgery, and the doctor told me, you know something? I think we got it all. He said that he was happy. That made me happy. Now we're going back for another surgery, and I hope he says the same thing when he gets done.
Me too.
But that's life. That's life. Do the same thing over and over again. Don't expect the results to be different.
True that. All right, last question is, what now?
What now? Well, my next operation is coming up, which will be a turning point in my life, in my career. It depends how I come out of the operation. If I'm unscathed, meaning I'm not paralyzed or anything, then I will continue to work. Obviously, if something happens to my health, where I cannot go to work every day, then I have to retire, which is going to break my heart. And my brothers are very capable, more than capable, obviously, of running the business. They do it without me, they've done it. We've done it all our lives. We've done every aspect of it. The only thing I can't do is forget the computer. I'm way too old for the computer. But they're good at it.
So you want to write a book?
I want to write a book on salesmen, how to sell furniture. And I want to say how to sell furniture for dummies, but I think it's already out there.
Is it?
Yeah. Furniture 101. Furniture sales 101.
What's your book going to be called?
Something with Nairobi in it.
Tell me about Nairobi.
Nairobi. It's Nick, Ron, and Pete. When we were children, our parents bought us a very small, it's like a 9-foot rowboat. Had some holes in it, but I patched them with fiberglass and some other stuff. I remember stinking high heavens. And our aunt came over the house one day, our great aunt, Aunt Grace. She decided that the boat needed a name. So she took the first 2 letters of each of our first names, Nick, N-I, Ron, R-O, and Pete, P-E, my age. She called it my rope, the rope on the boat. It's the rope that holds the boat, keeps the business together. Think about the rope. And it's also, we use it as our, nobody else has Nairobi. We Cardized it, we called it Nairobi. And it's something that no one else has. We were looking for something in the mid-'80s that no one else had that we could advertise. And everybody could say the lowest, the best, the most, quickest, but no one could say they had Nairobi. And it's a strange word, and it works. If you really think about all the businesses that are out there, you've got Amazon, you've got these businesses that are out there, the big ones. They're all a little bit different. It's not it's Cardis Furniture, but people think of us as Nairobi. You're one of the 3 Nairobis. Which one are you? Nick, Ron, or Pete? We didn't know the names. And that's what you want. Brand yourself. And I think that's what we did. And I think we're all very happy with that.
You totally called me out when I said I only had 2 more questions, because now I thought of a couple more good ones if you don't mind.
Right.
How has being part of Cardis Furniture and being sort of a local legend in Rhode Island, how has that affected your life, personally and both in your business?
It affects it personally every single day. Anytime you walk outside or go somewhere, you're recognized, you're ID'd. And which is good, because why did you have, and when people say, oh, I see you on TV all the time, and I say, great, I'm glad someone's watching. Otherwise our advertising wouldn't be working. So we know our advertising is working.
Right.
When people say that, but that's what you give up if you put your face on TV or in the public, or if you're a politician. You give up your privacy, and that's probably one of the toughest things to deal with, especially with the family when we go out. And sometimes they can't take it, especially at the beginning. The beginning was terrible.
Yeah.
Family couldn't take it at all. And we grew at it, Nick, Ron, and Pete, very slowly. But when you throw your family into it after you're, quote, noticeable out there, it's difficult for them. Very difficult.
did your kind of, I don't want to say rise to fame, but just sort of your
On notoriety,
yeah, did did it happen quickly, or did it happen over a long period of time?
long period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're an overnight sensation, only since 1928.
Mm.
But Nairobi, in a sense, did take off right away.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say one of the reasons is because it's such a strange word.
Right.
People wanted to know what it was. People still ask us, what does that mean? Where did it come from? Why? It means they're thinking about it,
True
which
that.
is great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's really all I got for you right now. But I really appreciate everything.
It's my pleasure to be with you. And
Absolutely.
is anybody going to watch this besides you?
Yeah, my whole class will probably watch it.
Hello, class.
And of course I'll give it to you if you want it for whatever reason. But
No, you could probably show me clips just to see how bad I look.
it's all good.
Great, beautiful hat on.
That's a signature
It's
hat.
warm. I'll
It's
tell you something.
yeah, that's a
Warm.
signature hat right there. I don't think I've ever seen you without that hat. I don't think one time
I
ever.
had two. I don't know where the other one is, so if anybody knows where it is, let me know. It's brown.
But that's all I got for you.
I'll
Thank you
even
very
give
much.
a reward.
No, thank you very much.
I love them.
Appreciate it. Thank you for sitting through and watching the entire interview. Towards the end, Nick started to get a little bit tired. During the last break that we took, he asked me if we could kind of finish it up. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to ask him all of the questions that I wanted, and unfortunately, this past week and the next few weeks moving forward, he's in and out of the hospital due to them finding another cancerous tumor in his brain. So he really hasn't been up for talking and really doing much lately, so, you know. But I think that the interview went very well, considering his short-term memory and how he's been lately. He stayed pretty on topic, which I was very surprised. And also, he really reached back into his brain for some of that, and that was really good. Nick is I think that he is happy with his life. The steps that he's taken to get to where he is now, the positions that he's put himself in and other people in have all been positive and good. He is a very loving and supporting man who does nothing but good for the world and for people around him. And I think that he would agree that that is what he has tried to do his entire life, and I think that he is very happy with his life. Until now, of course, getting sick and everything has really rendered him not useless, but it's definitely crippled him in the sense that he can't be as energetic and as motivated as he was before, and that's definitely hard. But yeah, thank you for watching.